Hey everybody, welcome to this edition of Box Seats. I'm Frank Holder, sitting here with two comedians that you all probably know very well by now if you've been watching the show. Comedian Fig and Comedian Talent. And what we do normally, every day, if you don't know by now, I'm going to explain it to you. We are obviously talk comedy, but we talk about sports. And I think the biggest thing that we have to talk about right now is what jumped off last night. And fellas, last night in the NBA, we're going to talk about NFL too. I want to get to the NFL today. But last night in the NBA, Chris Paul was a man amongst boys. You know what I mean? Literally my next boy. So I'm going to ask you both. And Talon, I'm going to start with you. I know you saw the game and you saw the last part of what Chris Paul did and everything else. Is Chris Paul right now the most overlooked player in the NBA playoffs? Now, let's just go real fast with what Chris Paul has done. Chris Paul was on OKC, got traded, to OKC. Russell Westbrook, that trade happened. Everybody knows about that. Everybody expected, the OKC to have basically a trash year. Let's be honest. It was supposed to be a rebuild year, right? Let's be honest, right? It was supposed to be a rebuild year. Right. It's not a rebuild year. Now they are the 7th seed right now, and they are pushing the number 2 seed to basically a 7th game. It's up in the air right now. And we all know in 7 games anything can happen. So, question now to you, Town, is Chris Paul the most overlooked player in the NBA playoffs?
I wouldn't say that. I think that would be going a little far. Okay. I would say that he was underestimated, given his team going against who he's going against. He was underestimated. But the only reason I say he would be the most overlooked is because you got to put these young guys into play with that conversation. Like the Murrays, the Jamal Murrays, and those guys that we totally overlooked because they were in superstar status. You know what I mean? Right. But he's up there. He's up there in that top 10. I give you that. But what did I say in the beginning? I said Chris Paul got a chip on his shoulder. He's a force to reckon with. He's still a top point guard and floor orchestrator in this league. And I didn't have total doubt.
Right. Fig, are you surprised what Chris Paul did last night with Game 6 on the line?
No, man, I'm never surprised what Chris Paul does when he's in his true position. Mm-hmm. The thing is, when Chris was on those other teams, with the exception of the Clippers, Chris Paul is what they call a floor general. He is a throwback to what point guards used to be back in the day. Point guards, your floor general, an extension of the coach on the floor. Right. That's what Chris Paul is. Now, when guys start talking about, these guys is top 5, this is top 10, the name that you very rarely hear is Chris Paul because people don't give him the credit that he's due as a point guard, with the exception of one guy that I watch occasionally is Stephen A. Smith. He calls Chris Paul a superstar point guard. Mm-hmm. Not a superstar, but a superstar point guard. And Chris he has the right team around him where he can orchestrate, and he has the ear and the respect of these guys so that when he says something, people listen. When you got a bunch of guys on your team that got egos and a whole bunch of press clippings, then Chris Paul is rendered ineffective because they don't respect his authority.
Right, there you will. Hey, Talent. Last night I'm watching the game, man. Russell Westbrook got the ball too many times, but he got the ball. He comes up, he throws the ball away last night, and everybody's like, Russell Westbrook throw the ball away and everything else. Talent, why did he even have the ball, man? If you could reach out to Mike DAntoni, would you be like, man, what's wrong with you, man? Why he got the ball? Talk to me. Tell me.
I think you forget that James Harden and him are reunited.
Right.
And I think you forget that there may be a fear factor there a little bit. Okay. There may be, because when James Harden was on OKC, Westbrook was the guy, the most vocal, running the team. Everybody do this, do that. So now you take that leadership, you bring it to a team where you're the leader. And, it's like old friends, man. It's like it's like your mom's come back over your house. She run your stuff. Like, it's your house. It's your house, but at the old house, she ran stuff. So when she come to your house to visit, she started running stuff. I think he came over there and Harden kind of falls back a little bit which he wouldn't do with nobody else, but because it's him, and because he used to live at mom's house. It's mom. Mom comes in, she cleaning the dishes, she cooking the meal. You got to shut the hell up and let mom do what she do.
Right. Hey, Fig, when you watched that last night and you saw him bringing the ball, he threw the ball away with Game 6. Did you throw something at the TV, man, or was you frustrated, or how was you feeling when you saw that happen?
No, he is who he thought we were. He is who we thought he was. That's what he does. That's why KD left OKC. He was like, listen, can somebody control this dude? He got the ball. He's running. He's going crazy. He's shooting 3-pointers. He's throwing the ball away in the fourth quarter. That's what he does.
It's funny you said that.
That's what he does. Let me tell you something. It's like Dylan said, Harden was like, yo, it was all good during the regular season. It was reunited, and it feels so good. But see, when you get to the playoffs, it's the best 4 out of 7.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to play 7 games, and you got to depend on this guy to be in control, and he's never in control. He is the most out of control player that is in the entire NBA. Let me tell you something about this dude. Remember what we said when we was talking about who could win and stuff like that? When Russell Westbrook comes back, we was like, the one thing I said, I was like, if Russell Westbrook is the dude who takes the ball and is driving it to the hole, you got a good chance of beating. But if he's the dude that's taking 3-pointers from the cheap seats, Houston ain't got a chance.
Right.
Because Westbrook don't know. Nobody ever told him, like, come here, man, let me talk to you. Yo, Tyler, remember this? Come here, let me talk to you. Yo, you can't shoot, dude. Come here, let me talk to you. You can't shoot.
Hilarious. Hey, Talent, you think Mike D'Antoni is going to be around if they lose? If they lose, you think he's going to be around? Because everybody's talking about he's going to get fired. What you think?
I don't think so. I don't think. Here's the thing. I think D'Antoni listens to Harden. Mm-hmm. So to go back to what we were just talking about, I do believe that Harden, because again, Harden is probably scared of him a little bit, for lack of a better word. So he's going to take his frustration and gripe to the coach and say, listen, just so you know, this is what we need to do. He's not going to go address it directly, but to an extent. He's going to tell the coach going to tell Westbrook, and things in Game 7 will go the way it's going to be hard, Harden's game to lose. So it's going to get back to what he wanted to be. I think that superstar players, remember we talked about this. This is a players' league now.
Right.
And if you have a coach that listens to the star player, his longevity in that city is longer than if he's trying to put his foot down and be the coach. So I think D'Antoni is a Harden disciple. I don't see him getting fired right away.
All right, how about you, Fig?
No, man, I don't see D'Antoni getting fired, because he's the type of coach to roll the ball out and be like, y'all do what y'all want to do. That's what he did yesterday. He rolled the ball out on the last play of the game. He rolled the ball out. He said, listen, you guys are superstars. You can figure it out. And Russell Westbrook came up with the ball and threw it out of bounds. He figured it out. That's what he does. Russell Westbrook been doing
D'Antoni called the play. He calls the timeout. This is a D'Antoni calling the play. All right, everybody, come here. There's a ball out there. Everybody do this. You got hands? Break. There's a ball out there. You got these. Good luck.
There you go. Yo, man, let me tell you something. Everybody in the NBA world, everybody that's a basketball fan knew that James Harden should have had that ball last night. You know what I mean? With the game on the line. Russell Westbrook threw it away. And he threw it away so many times in OKC that KD left. But the whole world cursed KD for leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Now you see why.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere that Russell Westbrook goes, he's the same dude. He's good for 3 quarters. In the fourth quarter, when he started chucking up them 3-pointers from the cheap seats and throwing the ball out of bounds, then everybody be like, yo, man, why he do that? Because he's Russell Westbrook.
Right.
He is who we thought he was.
Man, he had 7 turnovers last night, and Mike D'Antoni in the playoffs was 0-5. I don't think honestly, matter of fact, before I say what I think, Talent, do you think in Game 7, do you think OKC going to pull it out, or do you think Houston's going to pull it out? Who you got? Game 7. After you saw the game last night.
But remember, I had OKC with the upset, so I would hope they pull it out. But I also know, again, we go back to what we said before about ratings and the star players being around as long as they can. So I think it's going to come. It's going to be a refs game. Game 7 is going to be a refs game. So whoever can manipulate and work around them refs will be your Game 7 winner in this series. However, here's the thing about Westbrook. When he came down, let's go to that last turnover. That was the most vital, where they had a chance to close this game out, and it was in reach. The problem with that turnover was that was Chris Paul defense. If you look at what happened,
Yes,
Chris Paul came around, looped around, because Westbrook was on a locomotive to the rack.
Right.
But with this body coming around, kind of got in the way. He saw that body last minute. Now, if you look at what Chris Paul did, he looped around. He saw the body, turns to make the pass. Chris kept going to where the pass went. That's how much good defense Chris Paul got. Chris Paul that's some floor general stuff right there. He came around just enough to look like he's going to get in your way to make you change your mind and then still go to where the ball's going.
Right.
Because Westbrook had a locomotive to the rack.
Yeah, he did. He does that all the
Chris
time.
didn't come in there was nothing. He was beating his defender.
Yeah.
He was about to blow by. If Chris doesn't cut across, change that play and trajectory, we don't know what we got.
And let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you why Chris Paul was able to do that. Because he was in Houston before, and D'Antoni only has 2 plays. So Chris knew it had to be one or the other. When Russell Westbrook had the ball, he knew exactly where the ball was going before Russell Westbrook even threw it.
Yeah.
He left Tucker open on the base side to get that short 3-pointer, but he knew Russell Westbrook wasn't going to throw the ball. He wasn't going to pass it. He don't know nothing about no passing. He's going right to the rack. He cut him off. Then when he threw it behind him, Chris Paul kept going right past him, and the ball went out of bounds. Game over. But now listen, you know who I got? I just got one thing. If OKC takes the ball out of James Harden's hand and make Russell Westbrook beat them, Houston is going home.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now
I would double team Harden the same way they did Dame Dollar.
Yeah.
Double team him, got the ball out of his hand, make the rest of the guys beat him. They going home.
So that's who you got?
I got okay, but only with the caveat, I need to know that they're going to take the ball out of Harden's hand because they let Harden go off. Houston wins.
But if you had to put money on it,
exactly.
If I had to put money on it,
if you had to put money on it, who you going with?
If I had to put money on it, I would bet Houston.
Okay, all right. If I had to put money on it, I got to put Houston. I got to put Houston too because that's
because you know what Talent said about the refs. Do you really want to see OKC up against the Lakers, or do you want to see Houston against the Lakers?
Right. That's what everybody. I think everybody wants to see that. Okay, now
follow the money, baby. Right. Follow the money.
Now let's switch. Okay. Now let's talk about the other game, which was another upset last night. Miami faced off against Milwaukee. Now, it wasn't the same type of game. You know what I mean? It wasn't the same type of game. But I'm gonna ask you this. Talent, would you expect to see Milwaukee collapse the way they collapsed last night in game 2, the way they collapsed in game 1? Now, let's be honest. Milwaukee missed a lot of shots. I mean, they missed a lot of shots. I ain't never seen Giannis look so out of he just looked like he basically didn't have his coordination. He just looked like he didn't have it. Game 2, you expect Miami to come like that, or do you expect Milwaukee to basically do what they do?
From here on out, it's Milwaukee's series.
Okay.
It's not even going to be a close series. We're not going to see 6 games. We're not going to see 7 games. I think that it's starting to be a trend with Milwaukee because they did this the last one too. They give up the first one almost like a rest,
right?
And it's almost like a cheat sheet. I've seen this before in other sports where for real. This is NBA rope-a-dope. Remember Ali would let you punch out. Right. Just so you can see what you're doing, how you're doing it, how many you're doing. And just when you get tired, okay, he likes the jab, he likes the uppercut. As soon as you get tired, boom, 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 steal some points, next round.
Right.
And that was a strategy. So it's almost like they're playing a rope-a-dope style in the NBA. looking at the last series and starting this off the exact same way, because you know damn well you're not going to get no 18-point Giannis games.
Right.
You ain't going to be able to bank on him scoring under 20 and,
Right.
and low rebounds and low blocks and all that. That boy be all over the floor.
Right.
And the energy alone, when you looked at the Bucks, they didn't have that fear to deer. It was like going through the motions. Okay, we're in the next series. And watch them. I don't know if it's rope-a-dope to see what you got or is to see what we got.
Good point. Fig, what you think?
Yeah, man, let me tell you something. Like Talon said, they did the same thing against Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
They lost the first game, and then they went 4 straight.
Right.
So here's the thing. We've seen Jimmy Butler before. We know he's a dog. Is Jimmy Butler the kind of dog that scores 40 points a game? Because we needed him to score 40 points a game in order for them to pull that out. He shot out of his mind for that one game.
Right.
We know who he is. That he's not that dude. He's not the 40-point dude. So here's the thing. Is Giannis another 18-point guy? I mean, listen, you gotta go with you go with who people are. You know what I mean? Giannis is not the dude that's gonna shy away. They asked him a question. Why didn't you guard Jimmy Butler? He said, because I do what the coach tells me to do. That's what he said. I do what the coach. He was like, why'd you ask that question? He said, I do what the coach told me to do. If the coach would have told him to guard Jimmy Butler, he would have guarded Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy Butler wouldn't have had no 40 points against Giannis. Because I don't care what you say about Giannis shooting and stuff like that. That boy's the defensive player of the year for a reason. He can guard Jimmy Butler with no problem. Because he would bother him because he got length.
Right. He's long. He's very long.
I don't see that happening another 3 games in order for Miami to beat Milwaukee. I think that was the one-off. This next one, if I had to put money on it, I'd go ahead and bet Milwaukee.
If Jimmy Buckets and them grab another game, then I will open my eyes and watch this series differently. But that first one, it seems too much like a ploy, like a plot.
Well, let's. This is my last question about the NBA because we got to talk about the NFL. I want to talk. A lot of things jumped off on that too. But so my last question and the NBA are the powers so-called to be. The powers so be. Are they trying to line up a Celtics-Lakers series because of the bubble? What do you think, Talon?
Yeah, I think so. It seems like it. But here's my thing when it comes to the West is too fickle. It looks very fickle and finicky. The East, if the Celtics get there, they're getting there because they're playing. Like nobody watched those games and said, "Oh, the refs gave it to Boston. Oh, Boston cheated." We're watching those games, and they're winning those games off of GP. So if they get there, God willing, so be it. I'm good with that. The West, however, is a little finicky, trickery going on here. So if LeBron straight up, part of my French, kicks some ass straight and marches into the chip, I respect that. But I don't respect the refs helping you into the chip. You know what I mean? So if they're amping up for that, all I can see on the East is they're earning it. If the West earns it, I don't care who's in the chip. I think with the pandemic, we're all going to end up happy regardless.
Right. Fig, what you think? You think the powers so-called to be are trying to line up the Celtics-Lakers series?
I don't really think so. I'm gonna tell you why. Like Talon said, Boston is playing out of their mind. They played a hell of a game against Toronto, man. I watched that game from beginning to end. It was super entertaining. I was waiting for Toronto to come back, you know what I mean, and make that run and stuff like that. It was entertaining. That was one of the most entertaining games that I've seen in a while. I love the way Boston plays, you know what I mean? And they won that game and Tatum didn't go off. Tatum was he was pretty average that first game. And I don't see it. Now, back in the day, I think people would have said that because these are the two storybook franchises, you know what I mean? LA and Boston, the winningest franchises in the NBA. That may happen before because it was Larry Bird, the white guy in Boston, which is considered to be, maybe like a racist town. And then you had Magic Johnson, the black guy, who was in LA, which was a liberal town. You know what I mean? Like very, very comfortable. So you got the black guy against the white guy. It was almost like a race war back in the 80s with Magic and Bird. You know what I mean? That's the way it was played up, the black guy against the white guy. Now you don't have that. You know what I mean? Boston they're a really good young team. And out in the West, you got an older LeBron James and a dog a sort of dog, top 5 player, Anthony Davis. He's yet to win anything, and he's yet to rise. You know what I mean? When the playoffs really count. Like, he looks good during the regular season, injury prone, but he's never really done anything in the postseason. And now we just gotta see,
right,
if he could do it or not.
Right. Okay. Now let's switch gears. You know, we got to talk about the NFL because the NFL season officially kicks off 2 weeks from Thursday. Everybody's talking a lot about Tom Brady and Tampa Bay. Everybody's talking about Cam Newton and New England Patriots. Talent. Who plays better for their team? Cam Newton for the Patriots or Tom Brady for the Bucs?
Tom Brady for the Bucs. I mean, he had the clause in his contract going over there. In his deal, he had to be up on personnel. He had to have a say-so and personnel around him. So when a quarterback has that kind of say-so, you have everything at your hand and disposal that you need to do what you do. You know how you play. You know what you need. You know what I mean? It's like if I'm a quarterback and I know I'm old and my arm only throws 15 yards, I'm going to put an offense together that's the best 15-yard offense like the Joe Montana days. Joe Montana chip your ass down the field 10, 15 yards at a time. Next thing you know, 5 Super Bowls. So it's like he got the hand on the throttle and on the gauge. Cam Newton don't have that power. Cam Newton is thrown into my system, and I'm telling you what to do. So his is more of a crapshoot. One got a guaranteed thing, one got a crapshoot. So I'm gonna go with Tom Brady and the Buccaneers.
Okay, Fig, who you gonna go with?
Yeah, man, I like that analogy, except for one thing. Frank, I need to ask you a very serious question. What conference is the Patriots in?
AFC.
And who's in the AFC?
Baltimore, the Patriots, Kansas City. The list is long. Why?
What about the AFC East? The Jets.
The Jets, the Bills, the Patriots. Yeah.
See, my thing is that Tom Brady always did well in New England. One, because of Belichick, and number 2 is the level of competition that he had to go against before it got really tough. Cam Newton is really going to be going against the Jets, Miami, Buffalo. Like, he got a chance to get some nice, comfortable games up under his belt before he has to deal with, a little rough terrain. Now, it gives me a little pause because a lot of these players that played in New England opted out, and there wasn't a lot of weapons up there to begin with. So that gives me a little pause. To me, I think it's like a crapshoot. I'm not really sure because where Tom Brady is, he got a lot more tougher teams to go against and a lot of tougher competition. He got some dogs on his side. He got a lot of weapons, but he's going up against a lot of tougher teams. On the other hand, we got Cam Newton, who we know is a beast when he's 100% healthy, in a Bill Belichick type system, going against a weaker conference. So I think it's basically like, I think it's like I give it a toss up because I'm not really sure how well the Patriots are going to be able to do because they don't really have their full.
What's the last thing you've seen Cam Newton do, bro?
Get injured.
Okay.
I seen him injured.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna leave that a toss up. I'm gonna say I think Cam Newton is gonna do better for the Patriots than Tom Brady's gonna do for Tampa Bay. I personally think that, not because I'm a Patriots fan, has nothing to do with that. I'm saying that because
it doesn't.
I'm saying that for the reason of this reason. Tom Brady got to go against the Saints twice. He got to go against Seattle twice. It's going to be a tough assignment. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. That's next.
Seattle is not tough, man. Seattle's not tough. Seattle is that guy in the gym that he's good on offense, but he's mediocre on defense. So he gives you 30, but then you give him 30 back. That's Seattle.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Next question. Is Aaron Rodgers staying in Green Bay now that, and happily in Green Bay for the remainder of his contract, or after this year, because it was a hot topic today, or after this year, you think since he's going to be upset, play disgruntled because they got Jordan Love, and he's going to be out of there and force his way out of Green Bay to another team and take that other team to the Super Bowl? Talent, what you think?
I think that relies on father luck, father time, and father luck. Here's the thing. Given what we know and what we think we're foreseeing, yes, he want to be out of there, right? But there's that lucky chance. Mess around, Green Bay does very well this year. Mess around, Green Bay makes the Super Bowl. He ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. If good things happen, no one goes nowhere. Now, if things stay on course as we think we foresee them to be, absolutely, he's out of there. But let's just say, because it is Aaron Rodgers, all things are possible. He come out here and have an Aaron Rodgers year and wheel this team and thug it out to the through the playoffs to the Super Bowl. He created his own destiny. He ain't going nowhere.
Okay. All right. Okay. Vic, what you think? Aaron Rodgers, the question is basically Aaron Rodgers going to sit there and play disgruntled and stay there continuously through his contract, or is he going to play pissed off because they drafted Jordan Love? They drafted his replacement this year, and
right.
And what you think? He's going to sit there and take it, basically.
You know what? I think that if Aaron Rodgers gets an opportunity to leave, he's bouncing. First off, they didn't give him any more weapons to work with. Right. And you still got that dog Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson.
Right.
You know what I mean? You still got them dudes that balled out last year. And I don't see Green Bay doing anything special this year. And with them drafting his replacement, I think he's pissed off, man. I really do. I would be. How you if I'm still that dude, listen, Aaron Rodgers had a bad year last year, according, stats wise. He threw for over 4,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad year for Aaron Rodgers. And you drafted his replacement instead of getting him some help. Right. So I would be angry at that. It's like, yo, man, I'm still that dude. And I think you got my replacement instead of getting me help.
Fig, I think you guys are forgetting the history where Aaron Rodgers comes from. Aaron Rodgers was the replacement guy.
Right.
He had to come in when Brett was still playing. Right. It took years of sitting behind Brett and learning the game behind. That's just the way the system goes. He knows that.
Mm-hmm. But he still could have got him some help, though, man. I mean, how about a couple of receivers or something? Right. You know what I mean? How about something? Somebody,
bro,
anybody can get a little help.
I think he did well last year. Became what? One more game, he's in the big game.
Yeah, but he didn't have any great offensive weapons to help. He did that with basically a bunch of nobodies. If he had,
you know who Aaron Rodgers is? Let me tell you who Aaron Rodgers is. Aaron Rodgers is LeBron James last year.
Aaron Rodgers is black.
All right, so let me ask you guys this question about the Cowboys, right? The Cowboys got a new coach. They got Mike McCarthy. He's made some changes. He's had almost no holdouts, obviously because of the coronavirus and everything else. They changed the coach. They kept all the rest a lot of the personnel, and supposedly they're keeping the playbook. He's not supposedly. I don't know. I'm not in Dallas. Obviously, I'm not behind the scenes and everything else. Does Dallas end up playing better because of their coach talent, or is it going to be the same thing we saw last year, regardless of the coach?
I think Dallas Cowboys have a money problem. I don't care who the coach is over there. I think a lot of brains are going to be stuck on money and where's my money and why not my money? Why not this amount? And I think money. Let's face it.
You talking about
This is a gladiator sport where people are putting their bodies on the line, and you're going to ask people to go out and give you that same production when you basically shat on your main guy, your centerpiece is your quarterback in football, and you tagged him along, and I was so mad at that because his agent should have knew better. Right. Handle the business. Anything can happen. The guy could break a leg any play. Why keep chancing it? Every play is a risk. So I think going into here, no matter who the coach is, I think you're going to get less production unless some paperwork gets done in time, man.
Okay. All right. Fred, what do you think?
Man, I'm going along with talent, for the simple fact that you need your team everybody got to be on. Like, you can win in basketball with a couple of stars.
Yeah.
When you're in the NFL, it's a lot more that you need. You understand what I'm saying? That team has everybody got to be pretty much on the same page, on the same wavelength, and they got to believe in each other.
Right.
If your front office don't believe in your quarterback, what is your team thinking about you? If Jerry Jones and them don't want to pay Dak, what are you saying about him? This kid balled out for $400,000, and he gambled on himself. And when it came time to pay him, you paid everybody but him. Even though we know that the going market was, you pay the quarterback what the going market is. Jerry asked for a hometown discount, and you got this dude for 4 years for under $1 million. That was your hometown discount right there. If you wanted a discount, you got your discount double check right there. You balled out for 4 years and never made $1 million. You got your discount. Now pay him.
Okay.
And if you don't want to pay him, then that's what the problem is.
Okay. Rodney Perry in the building.
Rodney Perry.
What up, y'all?
Rodney Perry, you hear the conversation? What's going on?
Hey, I'm all over it, man. This is your boy RP, and you know I disagree with everything.
All right, what's the first thing you disagree with?
I disagree. First of all, y'all talked about Milwaukee and Jimmy Butler and the Heat. I disagree with Jimmy Butler's haircut. What is Jimmy Butler doing? Everybody got a haircut but Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler out there looking like Richard Pryor. In which way is up? I can't take it no more. I also disagree with Fig's curl. When I come Fig got a curl. We all look like this, and Fig, you look amazing. I hate you. You look okay. All right. In sports, I think Fig said that AD was suspect. Fig, you're losing your mind. I completely disagree. AD is great. He's going to continue to be great, and he's about to get a chip this year. Write it down.
Okay.
Over the NFL, Tom Brady versus
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton. Okay. When in doubt, bet on black. Okay.
Okay.
Bet on black. Bet on black. And I'm going with Tom Brady because there's too many black receivers over there. Tom Brady.
He went. I can't hear you. One more time. Say it one more time.
Check.
I can hear you now. Go ahead. Yeah, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
God damn it.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Get out of there.
Why would we tell people we can't hear them? They fix the camera.
Yo,
we'd be like this. Y'all
I don't know what it's doing.
All you see is this.
Y'all can hear me?
he said bet on black. First
You
he
can
cut
hear
off
me.
the sound, then he cut off the picture. Fuck.
It never fails when you be like, we can't hear you. People go, it's nothing to do with it.
I want Rodney Perry back, man.
He said Fig look gorgeous. He said, you look gorgeous. What's wrong with you?
When in doubt, always bet on black.
And then he went white. Fig, he said, when in doubt, always bet on black. And he said, I'm going with Tom Brady.
It ain't over. The party ain't over. Okay, now, somebody who said something about Buffalo.
Fig.
It was Fig. Fig, I disagree. Let me tell you something. Buffalo is good, man. Buffalo is good, and they're gonna be good this year. And yet they are in that conference. But Buffalo is gonna be a force to be reckoned with as we move into the next part of the season. Talent.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about Seattle. Seattle is tough. Seattle, man, you do not want to see Seattle.
Who the hell is Seattle?
We talking about Seahawks.
You talking about the Seahawks?
Seahawks.
Yeah, you
The
said
Seahawks.
Seahawks are bums, yo.
No, wait. Let me tell you something. See, you ain't factoring in a light skin factor. When you light skin, ask Fig. When you light skin, you got a better life. You live a better. Look at Frank. He's handsome. You see, you got to look between the lines. Y'all look at. Okay. All right. My question was, is Green Bay QB Aaron Rodgers. You know, I'm getting old. Aaron Rodgers, is he gonna leave? First of all, I got some friends that play for Green Bay. It is a great organization.
Yes.
People do not want to leave Green Bay just willy-nilly.
Right.
Now I hate to say this, but I kind of agree with Talent in that he know the system.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers know like how it works. Hey, they bring a new guy in, and he do not want to treat the new guy like Brett Favre treated him.
Right.
So I think he's gonna retire a Green Bay Packer, and but it's a new league in terms of how long their careers go. So he could probably play if he plays another 5 years, he's gonna go somewhere else. If he plays anything less than that, he will stay as a Green Bay Packer.
I agree with that.
Dallas Cowboys pay Dak Prescott.
Pay Dak Prescott.
Get a man his money, man.
With you? I'm with you.
Pay the man. Give him his money, man. Oh, and I got a new segment for Fig. I love when you say the dog. You call everybody a dog. Oh, he's a dog. Dog. Fig, top 10 dogs of the week.
Woo! That's a good.
Top 10 dogs of the week. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I like that. And one of them last night is definitely Chris
Jimmy
Paul.
Butler.
Chris Paul is killing fools.
Yes, he is.
Is he taking him out tomorrow night, Rodney? Is he taking him out or what? Chris Paul?
No. He going home. He had a good run.
He said Chris Paul's he's a dog. He's killing people. Is he gonna win? No, he going home.
No. He going home. He going fishing.
He going fishing?
He definitely going fishing. I mean, and don't get me wrong, the young man is balling.
Oh, God.
And they're excited looking for people. This not their year.
Why you sound like that father with that son who's not doing good in sports. You had a good run.
Yeah, good run. Yes.
Come sit next to your dad.
Basically, what he said about Chris Paul.
Hey, Talent. I'm not only sitting him down, but I'm the coach of the team. Sit by your daddy, boy. You did good.
I can't stand
Yo,
Okay.
hey man,
Rodney.
Hey, I'm
Rodney,
super excited about this show. I love box seats. Thank y'all for letting me come on and rock with y'all for a few minutes.
We love you, bro.
Before you go, Rodney, you didn't talk about Milwaukee, the Milwaukee series. I just want to ask you, Milwaukee or Miami, who taking that out?
First of all, Jimmy Buckets is trying to will his way into a victory.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. I don't even like the Greek Freak.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like him. As a human being, I don't like him.
But
Milwaukee gonna win. Milwaukee gonna win, man. I mean, they just got too much firepower. The Greek Freak is a beast. I mean, Buckets, I think Fig said it. Buckets is not gonna give you 40 every night.
Right.
Jimmy Buckets is not gonna give you 40 every night, but he can, and he's a super dog. He's a dog with wings on, like. So
hey, tell everybody out there how they can follow you, Rodney.
Hey, I'm easy to find. I'm Rodney Perry live on all my social media, and Rodney Perry on the website, and we got a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. So y'all stay with your boy.
Thanks, Rod. We appreciate it.
Love you,
Oh
Rod.
my God!
Hey,
Let me
man,
tell you
great
something.
job. Fig, send me some stuff.
Let me tell you.
I know you got some stuff. Turn me off, Frank.
Oh man.
Yo, let me tell you something, man. I'm never wrong about these things. I don't know how many years Rodney been doing this thing, but let's chalk that up to the first half of his career, right? The second half of this dude's career as a comedian is going to be ridiculous. Rodney's turning into one of the, you know how people capture that comedic older dude thing? Yeah. Like, dude, I can't tell you the last time I seen maybe Red Fox or somebody, and Robin Harris, he captured it, man. Yeah. That right there, I mean, just little innuendos. Hats off to our good friend Rodney Perry. Fig, he's right. That's a great segment for you to bring on board. Oh my God, my chest hurt.
Dogs of the week.
Yeah, I love that. That was real. I absolutely love that. But
yeah, that was dope, man. I love Rodney, man. Yo, man, ever since the first time I met Rodney, man, we was in LA at the Comedy Union, and he was the host. I think he was the host of one night. David Arnold had another night. Yeah, I love that dude from the first moment that I met him, man. Yeah. Real good people. You know what I mean? 100%, man. And
the man said everybody
man.
Looked like us and Fig looking gorgeous. Stop.
All right, let's go back to football.
It's the shirt. It's the shirt.
Let's jump back into football, okay? Let's jump back into football because Rodney's gonna probably get on some of this tomorrow, okay? Now they also they threw some questions out there about Lamar Jackson, right? They threw another question about their Patrick Mahomes. They said Patrick Mahomes did as good as he did because he had a lot of weapons. He had all the weapons. Now, my question for you guys is it the weapons or is it Patrick Mahomes?
I think it's Patrick Mahomes. I think and I had a chance to, which never happens, but for some reason, things lined up. The stars aligned last playoff run that I got to watch every series and every game. And watching him, it's him. It's not the weapons because you can see there's these big chunks of down periods, for lack of a better phrase, and the down period only comes when he's not on his A game. Mm-hmm. So with all those weapons, when he's not, his cylinders are not clicking, the whole team goes down. Mm-hmm. And even in the big game, it looked like they could lose that. Yeah. And he had to dig down and get into that thing. And somebody said something on another sports show I was watching, and it was like it's almost like there was like, you know, Andy has this way of coaching, and for 3.5 quarters, Andy does the Andy coaching, and then if the game's tight or looks like they need to come back or whatever, he just unleash Mahomes and say, "Do you?" And you'll see more activeness, more running, more out of pocket, more creating on the spot, more chance taken, and they win.
Right. Right. What about you? What you think, Vic?
Hey man, I think it's Patrick Mahomes, like Talent said, because you know, when this was a while ago when they were talking, you know, when NFL season was still around, they was talking about like every playoff game they was behind. Mm-hmm. They had to come from behind to win. And one of his teammates was saying, "Yo, when we're down and we go to the sideline, you never see any doubt in Patrick Mahomes. Like he's always on, like, yo, don't worry about it. We're going to win this." Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, we got this. He's superior. He's super confident. He got great talent to be able to do what it is that he does. The fact that he has weapons, I mean, listen, if he didn't have nobody to throw to, then, you know, I mean, he wouldn't be as good, but he'd still be good. Right. You know what I mean? If he had lesser weapons, he'd still be good. You know what I mean? I think you could take some other receivers and throw them out there, and I think they'd still win. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
He likes it.
Yeah, how about that?
So Rodney Perry got some right to that, and he light skinned. So to go with what Fig said, when you look at that sideline and they're down a couple of touchdowns, he don't look worried. He looked like the light skinned Kawhi Leonard of the NFL.
All right, now same question with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson he's like basically in the same position. Lamar Jackson, the question would be to him: is he as good as he is because it's him, or is he as good as he is because the people around him? Because you saw how good they were, and they were on their way until they had that upset loss in the second round of the playoffs last year. But what do you think?
I think on that team is total opposite, because Baltimore has built its bones off of getting offense out of defense. Mm-hmm. So if you look at some of those wins and look at those points, some of those big wins, the points wasn't all offensive points. It wasn't all Jackson doing his thing. And then they'll get a lot of ground stuff going too. Mm-hmm. So he has a great all-around thing around him. Don't get me wrong, he could cut on. He can have some Jordan-like moments because he's done it time and time again. But collectively, when you look at everything as a whole, he has a good machine with him, working with him. And not just when he got the ball. I'm talking about defense too.
Okay. Fig, what you think?
I think Lamar Jackson is a steak.
Okay.
And he's not all the way done. He got a lot of potential.
Yeah.
He's not all the way done. This kid is not finished developing. And what we saw last year was the equivalent of a video game. It was Madden. He was playing videos the way that he was running and scoring and stuff like that. What happened to them in the playoffs? I think they started reading some of the press clippings. They had an extra week off. They may have been a little rusty, and they overlooked a team. And by the time they woke up and realized they was in a dogfight, it was too late. I don't think he'll let that happen again. I think last year what happened to him was seasoning. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think they put a little seasoning on him. He'll never let that happen again. He's going to wake up and realize if he gets to that point again, he will not overlook that next team. You know what I mean? He's coming. He's got a lot of raw talent in him. That's what I mean when I say a steak. Raw talent is what he has. And when he comes along, Lord have mercy. When his arm catches up with his feet, the NFL better be on notice.
All right, I got another question for you. There are several teams out there that had some moving around, the quarterback, everything like that. There's a lot of teams that have no identity. I think some teams looking for their new identity. Who is the NFL team that everybody's overlooking, or who, in your estimation, in your opinion, everybody's overlooking and will do very well that you didn't see coming this upcoming season, including being, of course, the COVID and mixing people with players around? I'm even giving you who I think the team will be. But Talent, who you think would be the team that everybody's because everybody's talking about the normal same teams that we always talk about. But you also know, because you watch football, every single year there's a team that nobody saw coming, and then they make some headlines because they run off a string of wins, and you go, oh, okay, this team is supposed to be good. Who's that team? Talent?
I think I'm honest to God. I think it's going to be my team, the Jets.
Okay.
I think the Jets have spent the last three seasons piecing together something decent and real nice. And they've always, for the last 5 years, they've always had one or two corners working. Like, say it's 4 corners you need in football to work. We've always covered 2 corners and no more than 2 corners for the last 5-6 seasons. Mm-hmm. But the last 3 seasons, looking at draft picks and trades and stuff like that, and who they're signing long term, I think we've covered our 4 corners finally. Now, all we need is basic consistency in that pocket. If we get basic consistency in the pocket, meaning no turnovers and no crazy stuff, because I like the quarterback. Mm-hmm. We just needed to plug the 4 corners so that we can compete on both sides of the ball. I think the team to watch out for is New York Jets this year.
Okay. Fig, who you now? Before I even ask you, are you gonna pick a New York Giants team too? Are you gonna do that too?
No. No, not at all. I don't know what the Giants are doing. I'm like completely lost. I have no idea what.
I just want to make sure it's not gonna be a New York boss.
Let me just say this: because I'm in New York, I like what Taylor said about the Jets, and I'm gonna tell you why. Yeah. The Jets quarterback was he was out. He was sick for like 5-6 games.
Mono,
and which you never really hear. I didn't even realize that mono was could be fatal for an adult. I didn't know that. But
hell yeah, that's why I stopped kissing.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah, I couldn't do it myself. My wife was like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "Listen, mind your business." Anyway, so But he was out. Sam Darnold was out 5 games, and when he came back, he balled out, and they did decent. You know what I mean? Plus, he's been there. This is like maybe his 3rd year. You know what I mean? He might be coming into his own with the right players around him. He might be able to do something. But my pick, because they seem to be already ready and already there. I mean, everybody talk about Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson and stuff like that. I think your boy Garoppolo in San Francisco is going to sneak up on some people because they were there.
Yeah,
but
that's not a sleeper. That's not a sleeper.
No,
why not? Ain't nobody talking about them coming back.
They're part of the usual suspects. He's talking about.
Who's the team?
He's talking about snooze.
Right. Who's the team that's going to do well? I ask you one more time. Who's the team that's going to do well that you don't expect that's going to make a run to
People
the playoffs?
expect San Francisco to make a run.
He's just in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Okay. So who's going to make a run that nobody's suspecting?
Yeah.
You know who really can make a run? Talent don't like him. Seattle. Seattle can make a run.
But you're picking good teams.
Another
He's talking about that's another good team in the running.
I'll tell you, then you can think about this. I'm picking the Indianapolis Colts because they got Phillip Rivers as quarterback. They already had a good defense. They already had a good offensive line. They had good wide receivers, but they didn't have a quarterback because if you remember 18 months ago, if it was even that, the quarterback, oh my God, now I forgot his name. He ended up retiring at the beginning of the season. He said, okay, I can't do it.
Oh, Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck.
He said, I can't do it. They built up everything around Andrew Luck and the way Andrew Luck plays. That tanked their whole season. This offseason, Phillip Rivers decided, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm not going to play with you guys, but I'm going over there. No one is talking about the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts have everything together. So I ask you one more time. It doesn't have to be the Colts, but I'm going to ask you again. Who is a team that you might think will do well that nobody is talking about, at all? And for me, that pick is the Indianapolis Colts.
That's a good one.
My sleeper, since you said that, they were supposed to do fairly decent last year, got a lot of hoopla and stuff like that. Cleveland.
Okay.
If that boy comes along and balls out like he did when he was in college, they got some receivers, they got some defense, they got a lot of people over there. I think Cleveland will come in there and knock it out the park.
Stack is in the building. We got 3 minutes, Stack. I know you got 60 seconds. You got 120 seconds to tell us your recap, where we messed up at, and what your final opinion is. And then we got to rebuttal that, and then we out.
You know, my bad. Actually, what happened was I got stuck at the Walmart. I was still looking for an iron for my shirt. You know what I'm saying? Because my bad. So I actually missed the beginning, but I came in and I was listening to them NFL picks, and my pick is Miami.
Okay.
I think Miami is the team that nobody's talking about that's going to be good. And also look out for Arizona, too. I want to see if Kyler Murray can repeat.
Actually, Kyler Murray is probably the best one because they might do really well because they almost there last year.
Miami,
Arizona,
yeah.
Arizona. No, I like the Miami idea because if you look at last year, Miami had some real 4 explosive surprise games.
Yeah,
right. They beat the Patriots.
They had 4 bangers though. Like they put some numbers up. Yeah. I was like, what the hell? And you look at you thought they were contender until you look at the track record and you go, oh, they're 4-12.
Yeah, right. But they got
4 bangers was big.
Yeah, but they got 2 of this year, so they might.
Let's say 2 might make something happen.
Yeah.
Listen, the way for Miami to do good is if the governor closes the clubs before they play.
That's very true.
That's very
true. So, Stack, where we mess up at? Would you before I roll you out of here? Your time is rolling.
You know what? I didn't even get to catch it. I only caught the football segment today, man. So, but I just wanted to come mess with y'all anyway, man. And I wanted to know who picked Toronto for tonight.
Yeah. So
I don't think anybody.
We didn't even honestly.
I think everybody's in the Boston bandwagon at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all on the bandwagon now. Oh, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. All right.
I had to.
All right, before you roll out, the game 7 tonight, I'm gonna ask all three of you all your picks. Game 7 tonight is Jazz and the Nuggets. Game 7 tonight, and we all saw what Jamal Murray's been doing. We saw how busy the work is. He you know, he's another one who's not getting talked about everything else. So, Talon, you go first. Who you got? You got the Utah Jazz or the Denver Nuggets? Game 7 tonight.
I'm gonna go with the Utah Jazz. I look for my man to make a killing tonight. And really take over the game tonight. It's going to be him against Murray, but I see, you know, him taking Utah over the top. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think they're going to win by no more than 6 points.
Okay, Fig, who you got?
I got the Dollar Van.
Okay.
The Dollar Van Mitchell.
Okay. You think that's it? That's them? They're going to take it out?
Yeah, because listen, the way they talked about Jamal Murray, you know, after last game, if the coach don't wake up and double team and get the ball out of his hand, not only will the Jazz lose, he's going to get fired.
Yeah, he definitely will. He definitely will. Stack, who you got tonight, game 7?
I'm going with Denver. I'm going to go with Denver. I believe in Murray, and I think that if they do double team, it'll open things up for Jokic, the big man. I think he's going to take advantage.
Yeah, you just like people named Murray. You just picked Kyler Murray. Now you're picking another Murray. You just like the Murrays.
It's
the most beautifulest thing in this world.
Just like that.
That's it.
I get in there.
I'm picking Kyler Murray too. I think he's gonna do work. I think he's gonna surprise a lot of people. I think honestly, because I don't think the coach is that bright. I hate to say that because he's not.
You just said Kyler Murray.
I didn't mean him. You know what I meant. He's just not that bright. The coach is not picking.
Hold on. Did you just name a Kardashian?
Well, Kardashian could
what
beat
show
them.
is this?
A Kardashian could beat them. They're playing no defense. Absolutely none. They're playing no defense. But anyway, Fig, tell everybody out there how they can find you. And then, because it's that time, man, the show, it's over. It's done. How can they find you, Fig?
You can find me on all social media platforms at your boy, Comedian F to the I to the G. That is Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Hey, Stack, tell everybody out there how they can find you too, bro.
You can find me at Stacking Over on everything, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of that.
And Talent, thank you.
That's right.
Everybody
it's
out
the
there.
number one Black Yankee, baby. It's your Black Yankee in the building. Catch me on Twitter at It's Just Comedy, IG Talent the Comedian, and King Talent Harris, Facebookers. Live, baby.
Thank you all for watching. You'll watch another episode of Box Seats. We'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Download the Humor Mill app. Tell your friends. Tune into the Humor Mill channel. It's on a lot of platforms. And we'll see you all tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We got Talent. Who's the guest tomorrow? Tell them. We can tell them. Tell them.
We got a New York Knicks, Syracuse champion coming on here. John Wallace is in the building, baby.
JW!
That's confirmed. So we'll see y'all tomorrow, 1 o'clock, same bat time, same
bad channel.
Hey.
Yeah, I won't.